Hey Steemit, it's been a minute. Just thought I'd do a video on my thoughts on cryptocurrency and a few things that are happening within Steam. First off, Bitcoin hit $4,000 today, yeah. And quite a nice price and quite a good price for me because it's one of the prices that I'm taking some profits. So if you read one of my earlier articles, I talk about the importance of taking profits at fixed intervals, and $4,000 was one of my fixed intervals. So I took profits at $1,000, and then when it doubled again, I took profits at $2,000, and now it's doubled. I've taken profits at $4,000, and my next target for profit taking is, as you'd guessed, $8,000. So yeah, that's good stuff. One of my strategies is coming to fruition. See, it's always tempting to do more than you should, but I'll just keep it simple. Anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about was DTube. So I saw that top of the trending on Steemit is the launch of a new video platform, DTube, and it is a decentralized version of YouTube, which is fantastic, and it's also integrated within the Steam blockchain. So what you have is you can upload your video, and your video is stored on a file sharing peer-to-peer network. I'm not very technical, but it's, as far as I know, it's a file sharing peer-to-peer network where it's a bit like BitTorrent, and it's called IPFS. And so your video is stored there, and your blurb, so like your title and your text, is stored on the Steam blockchain. And essentially, when you load your video on DTube, you commit your it's almost like loading a post onto the Steam blockchain, and people can upvote it, and you can get rewarded directly on DTube, which is fantastic. It's a great development. It's done by a user called Hyman Danger. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he also brought us, I think, Steam Whales. So he's doing some good work for Steam. So Steam is full of what I call mini superheroes who do some really fantastic work for the platform, and he is obviously proving himself to be one of them. So I think that's really good, and it's really progressive for the platform. So those are the positives about DTube. I guess the negatives are it comes at a cost. So 25% of the awful rewards are automatically allocated to DTube, so they take 25% of the awful rewards, and of that, 10% of that 25% goes towards storing your video on IPFS. Yeah, correct. So yeah, one of the issues with a new decentralized file service, sharing service, particularly if it's holding large files like video files, is the cost of seeding those files. And so as I understand it, the percentage of the reward they take kind of guarantees that your video stays up for a limited duration of time, and then after that expires, you will need to find some way of keeping your video up, so either by seeding it yourself or paying for somebody to seed it for you. Quite an interesting concept. Made me think a little bit deeper about how it works on YouTube, because obviously you load something on YouTube and the immediate assumption it's going to be there forever, but if I think about it a bit deeper, that isn't necessarily going to be the case, because YouTube can take it down after 20 years or whenever they decide, because they don't like your content. So I've never really thought about the actual longevity of material that goes up on YouTube. But you do need to think about the longevity of the material that you put on DTube explicitly. So there's the cost and there's the length of time that your material potentially would be on DTube that you need to consider if you're loading your stuff up on there. So I think it might, at this stage, it might be pretty niche in terms of the people that would it would appeal to, unless of course the Steam community rewards people who load stuff onto DTube in order to incentivize them to do that over loading it onto YouTube and just put it on a post. Because if you just load your video onto YouTube, put it on a post, you can monetize it on Steam and you can also monetize it on YouTube, and you don't have to pay a cost. There's a competition going on in Steam, the Steam ecosystem, between DTube and Viewly. That's VIEW.ly, and that's doing a similar thing. They are storing the files, as I understand it, on IPFS as well, and I think they're seeding it themselves. So we'll see how that model works, and they're allowing people to upload it for free. However, unlike DTube, it's storing some metadata on a Steam blockchain, but it isn't integrated within a Steam blockchain, so you can't vote on Viewly stuff directly within their on their platform. So pros and cons are, the pros are it's free, however the cons are it's not as well integrated within Steam as DTube is. So those are the two things I wanted to talk about. Bitcoin hitting 4,000! It's crazy, isn't it? Who knows where it's going to go next. I'll never try and predict these things, just try and stick to my plan. And DTube stroke Viewly and the need for a decentralized YouTube, and it's good to see that a platform like Steam is really pioneering the space in a meaningful way, allowing people to monetize their content in a decentralized manner. So that's enough from me. Speak to you soon.